Hi everyone, Daisy here again with another layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Today I am using two cut files. The first one I am using is the funky numbers, and I picked the 1 and the 8 from that. And then the second one is the party popper. And it's a really fun um, cut file that was released in January, I believe, and I am just coloring all of the little bits using some Shimmers paints. So I am basing my color scheme off of the Scrap the Boys mood board, which is a rainbow mood board, which is just amazing. And I will have had a picture of that at the beginning of the video. Maybe I'll try to pop it up in the corner here. And I am also using the Simple Stories birthday collection from last year. So this one, the boy version of it is silver based. So I am using, I started out by painting the numbers with the Hi Ho Silver Blings from Shimmers, which is a nice silver color. It's got like chunky glitter in it. It's really a great color. And then I'm using some other colors here, kind of going with a more like primary rainbow color, a little bit different than the mood board, which is more, I don't know. I don't know how to explain, like a little bit off of primary colors. So anyway, the colors that I'm using to color in the party popper are ultramarine, rednecking is the red. I'm using pumpkin for the orange, and the ultramarine and the pumpkin are both Shimmers paints, which have a lot of shimmer in them. And then the red and yellow, the yellow's dandelion. Those are both creamies, which they are just very pigmented colors. And then the green is celery, which is a Shimmers original paint, which usually that means that they come with liquid in them. And unfortunately, I had, I don't know, not screwed the lid on mine correctly, and actually all the liquid leaked out of it into the container I had it in. And anyway, so here they are, beautifully done. I did it right on my mat and then let it dry really well before I took it off. That's how you keep it from tearing. And I did back the party popper. So the stars that are in the like cone piece, and then the top of the cone, I put some vellum on, and then the rest of it I backed in some just acetate packaging. And that is because I'm going to use some Spiegelbaum scraps, little silver stars, and create a little shaker pocket out of this. And I am using some of that stripe rainbow paper from the Simple Stories boy collection, just to add some more color. I did decide to use a black background. I really love using black backgrounds, especially like with this, because I feel like it really makes the colors pop. No pun intended from the party popper. So anyway, I'm just sealing this off. I did use a little bit of foam tape so that there's a little bit of room for it to actually shake around. Unfortunately, I cut one corner just a little too tight, and some of my stars leaked out, but I think in the end I end up getting it so nothing is going to fall out of it. That's always the like tricky part with shakers, is you don't want anything to come out of it. So, but you also don't want your background, showing out around the edges. So now, just to jazz up my black background, I am using a silver Uniball Signo and going around the edge. And instead of just doing kind of sketchy lines, I am doing little loop-de-loops, trying to make it look kind of like the streamers that come out of the popper, just because I thought it would be fun. I really like doing different things on the edges of my layouts. I mean, I'm also one for doing just the, outline, but I like mixing it up a little bit when I can. So now I'm going to stick the party popper down, and I'm just doing kind of the main cone part of it, and that is because the other pieces I want them to kind of lift up off the page. And then I'm using these two photos of my son, and this is from his 18th birthday, and we ended up giving him like a bunch of cash and some um, lottery tickets because, you know, when you're in the States anyway, when you're 18, you can play the lottery. So we got him some scratch offs, and I actually wrapped it all in some plastic wrap. So it was like this probably a good 8 by 8 square of plastic wrap. So he had to unroll the whole thing. I used an entire thing of plastic wrap, and he had to unroll the whole thing to get all of his money and cards out. So it was a lot of fun. It took him a good probably 20 something minutes to do. Um, but yeah, so I thought this would be a fun photo to kind of capture with this. And I feel like the black background makes it feel like an older boy page. Because, you know, with primary colors and stuff, sometimes you tend to think younger, but I really feel like the black background kind of, you know, makes it seem cooler and so older. I am going to use a little strip of that rainbow paper because I wanted to bring some up behind the photo, and I'm just going to kind of stick it right where it is. I was debating on whether I wanted to pop the photos up on some foam, and I decided not to. I just stick them straight down, which is unusual for me. I also didn't back my photos, which is also kind of strange, but I couldn't find the right paper, so I'm just like, I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. It'll be fine. It does have a white border from being printed, so I'm like, that's enough. That's what we're going to do. I wanted the 18 to overlap the photos as well, but I felt like it was a little messy with the stuff that's in the background, so I am going to stick it down on some vellum and then cut it out. And I feel like that gives it enough so that it's not showing through all of the stuff that's in the photo. So I'm just going to trim that out. And while I'm doing that, if you don't already belong to the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group, I highly recommend going over there and joining. It's where you're going to find out about the new releases, which are usually on the 1st and the 15th of the month. There's also a free cut file offered almost every month, sometimes multiple cut files, but they're only available for that month. So there is one available for the month of July, and that's where you're going to get it from, is the Facebook group. And also check out the Etsy shop because that's where you get these great cut files. And Virginia does an amazing job, and she has something available for everybody. There's boys, there's girl stuff, there's pretty much for any occasion you can think of. So definitely check that out, and I will have links down below for everything. So now I cut my numbers out of that vellum, and I did just leave the centers in the 8 because I figured it was fine. And then I added the word celebrate from the foam thicker things from Simple Stories. And now I'm adding all of the little pieces that came with the party popper around the page. And I kept messing up with my glue. I don't know, like, if my hands were shaking or what, but I kept like gluing things down and then it would slide. So luckily with this Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, it does dry clear, so you don't see any of those mistakes, but still it was, you know, irritating at the time. So I was thinking about adding those balloons there, and now that I see it, I actually do like it, but I think I end up taking them off. So I cut this little happy B-Day out of one of the 2x2 cards that are part of one of the pattern papers, and I thought that it was just a great addition to cover up some more of that, you know, mess in the photo. And now I'm just using some of the foam bits from the Simple Stories alpha or phrase thing. And I really think this is so much fun. I love how it turned out. I'm really excited about it. And it goes perfectly with that collection. The party popper, I mean, all of those little squiggly things I'm putting on right now, those are like perfect for it. So Oh, yep. I think I end up putting one of these banners up here because I thought that, well, I wanted to do a cluster and then they don't end up looking good together. So I think I do end up adding one up there. Excuse me. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, head on over and check out the Scrap the Boys challenge as well as the Etsy shop, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.